It will be the responsibility of the student to view, understand, and retain proof of viewing the following orientation video in its entirety. This orientation is designed to give the inquiring student basic information about the surgical technology program. The student will be responsible for all information provided in the video and will be asked to provide signed documentation acknowledging such at a later time. Remember, it is your responsibility to know the deadlines and criteria for the surgical technology program. Please be sure to monitor this website weekly for important updates. For your convenience, a transcript of this video is available on the Surgical Technology webpage. Welcome to the Ames Community College Surgical Technology Online Orientation. This orientation will outline the requirements you must meet in order to be placed on the surgical technology waitlist, and will provide specifics about the program at Ames. This presentation includes an authorization code, so it is important that you pay attention. Having this authorization code is the only way to verify you participated in the entire orientation. Please be prepared to write it down when instructed to do so. This is a 2-year Associate of Applied Science degree, meaning it is a terminal degree. An AAS degree is typically not designed to transfer to a 4-year university. While some of your general education courses may transfer, the surgical technology courses typically will not. If your goal is to earn a 4-year degree, please check with the accepting institution first to make sure that they will accept these specific courses. When you transfer credits to another school, it is always up to the accepting institution whether or not they will accept courses from another institution. The Surgical Technology program at Ames is accredited by CAHEP. This accreditation is the benchmark for surgical technology programs and makes you eligible to sit for the National Certification Exam known as the CST upon your successful completion of the program. There are several reasons for the surgical technology waitlist, but some include the following. We run a very streamlined and individualized program, admitting only 10 to 12 students. The program begins only once each year in the fall semester. Additionally, accreditation and clinical requirements limit the number of students we can accept into the program. This results in an average wait time of 1 to 3 years. During this time, you may be completing your general education and prerequisite coursework. We will now describe the 4 steps that you will need to take in order to be placed on the wait list. You are completing step number 1 right now. If you've not done so, you will need to submit a complete application to the Ames Admissions Department. If you've not attended Ames or have not taken classes from Ames within the last year, you will need to apply or reapply. You can do this in person by visiting one of the 3 main campuses or online by visiting www.ames.edu. After having completed your application to Ames, you will be asked to view an online new student orientation. The online new student orientation will help you get started on a successful college experience. It will introduce you to some of the services and resources that are designed to help you achieve your educational goals. If you're new to Ames, you will be required to complete the new student orientation. Additionally, we recommend that you make an appointment with financial aid. You will also need to declare your major as pre-surgical technology because this program has a selective admission process. If you are completing the application to Ames or the change of information form through admissions, select pre-surgical technology as your major. If you've already applied to Ames but are not currently declared as pre-surgical technology, you should change your major online through your MyAmes account. Under the Student tab, on the right-hand side, you will see a box titled Advising. Within that box, click on Change My Major. When you reach the Department field, click the drop-down menu to select Allied Health. Then another box titled Major will appear. In this box, you should select Pre-Surgical Technology. If you're unable to log into your MyAIMS account, please contact the help desk at helpdesk@aims.edu or call them at 970-339-6380 during regular business hours. In order to be placed on the wait list, you will need to meet Colorado State assessment requirements. There are 3 ways that you can demonstrate that you have met the requirements. If you already have a college degree such as an Associate of Arts, Associates of Science, Bachelor's or higher, and it is from a regionally accredited institution. Or if you've already taken college-level English and math courses and passed them with a C or better within the last 10 years. Finally, if you've met minimum assessment scores on the AccuPlacer, ACT, SAT, or COMPASS test in the last 3 years. The college does provide AccuPlacer testing. To make an appointment for a test, or to get a list of the minimum scores required, call the testing center at 970-339-6533. In order to be placed on the wait list, you must provide documentation that you have met the assessment requirements in one of these ways. Please provide unofficial transcripts or official test scores to the Surgical Technology Program Coordinator. If you do not meet the minimum assessment requirements, AIMS offers remedial courses to help you prepare for college-level English and math. While you are on the wait list, you can enroll in your general education and prerequisite courses. However, you cannot be placed on the wait list if you still need to complete remedial coursework. Between now and when you receive your provisional invitation to the Surgical Technology degree program, you will be working primarily with the Allied Health Advisors, Kelly Richardson and Janet Chase. To schedule an advising appointment, please call 970-339-6251. Together, you and your advisor will create an individualized plan for completing the general education courses listed above. You may make appointments to visit with the advisor on an as-needed basis or according to your needs and comfort level. If you need assistance registering for classes, the Allied Health Advisor can help you with that as well. While you're on the wait list, students will complete any outstanding general education requirements. All courses must be completed with a grade C or better. All of the listed science courses must have a lab component. Depending on your skill level in math, reading, English, and prior coursework in science, there may be additional prerequisite courses that you must complete prior to enrolling in the science courses listed above. If you are taking surgical technology general education courses at institutions other than AIMS College, it is your responsibility to verify with the AIMS transcript evaluator regarding the transferability of these courses to AIMS. Courses completed elsewhere must be officially transferred to AIMS for credit. It is highly recommended that you transfer credits at the end of each semester. Remember, transfer policies apply, and the state allows 30 business days for the college to evaluate your transcripts. For more information about transcript evaluation, please call 970-339-6494. For the final step of placing yourself on the wait list, download and sign these forms. They are found on the Surgical Technology webpage. In addition to your unofficial transcripts and proof of assessment, bring all of these forms to Erin Miyoshi, Program Coordinator for the Surgical Technology Program. Email her at erin.miyoshi@aims.edu to make an appointment. Once you are placed on the wait list, in order to maintain your placement, you will periodically receive emails from the Surgical Technology Department asking if you still wish to remain on the list. You must respond from your AIMS email account to the Surgical Technology email within the allotted time listed in the email. Email responses received after the deadline will not be accepted. Please know that phone calls, drop-ins, and email responses that are not from your official Ames email account are not acceptable. They are not acceptable and could result in your removal from the surgical technology waitlist. If you're removed from the surgical technology waitlist, you must begin the process again by viewing the online orientation with the authorization code, at which time you will be placed back at the bottom of the waitlist. It is imperative and in your best interest to ensure that Admissions and Records has current and up-to-date contact information for you. Additionally, it is your responsibility to check your Ames email account on a weekly basis for modifications to the program. You are responsible for making any necessary adjustments accordingly. Failure to do so will not be a defense to a missed program change or deadline. Surgical technology students are selected and provisionally admitted pending final documentation review according to the date and the time of their placement on the waitlist. Provisional admission is given if, and only if, a student successfully satisfies all requirements for admission to the program. Additionally, students must be at least 18 years of age prior to entering the program. The Surgical Technology Department will attempt to notify select students from the waitlist at least 6 weeks prior to the start of the program. At the end of each spring semester, the Surgical Technology waitlist is reviewed, and students are selected according to their date and time that they were placed on the waitlist, in conjunction with documented successful completion of all prerequisite and required surgical technology general education coursework. Therefore, it is in your best interest to successfully complete any and all remaining requirements by the end of a spring semester in order to be considered for the upcoming fall program start. Again, surgical technology program courses only begin once a year in the fall, and you must be at least 18 years of age prior to entering the program. It is the student's responsibility to provide copies of all required documentation by the due date provided when you receive notice that you have been provisionally accepted. Final acceptance will be postponed until all requirements have been successfully met. At the time of provisional program admission, students are required to successfully satisfy the following clinical requirements: a current American Heart Association BLS Healthcare Provider Level CPR card, a cleared background check and drug screen. Note, the Surgical Technology Department will provide students directions on how to order and complete the background check and drug screen at the appropriate time. Clinical sites may also require additional background checks, drug screens, and sometimes fingerprinting. Clinical sites and Ames reserves the right to exclude students based on the results of their background check and drug screen. Students will also be required to pay a separate fee for the My Clinical Exchange database. This database permits programs to enter student clinical information into a single clinical data source. This allows for easier tracking of the listed health requirements, such as the following immunizations: chickenpox, measles, mumps and rubella, hepatitis B, Tdap, and tuberculosis skin tests, in addition to the flu shot. As a heads up, some of the health requirements are given over a period of time. So, as you get closer to completing your general education coursework, it is highly recommended that you consult with your healthcare provider in order to begin receiving the clinical site immunization requirements. Clinical requirements may be subject to change without notice. Once you're admitted, the surgical technology program is only 2 semesters in length, fall and spring. During these 2 semesters, the surgical technology program requires a full-time commitment. Classes and labs are generally held Tuesday through Friday from approximately 8:10 a.m. until 2:45 p.m. In mid-November, the program schedule will change to Wednesday through Saturday. Students should plan on spending 1/2 day in the operating room from mid-November until winter break, which is approximately 5 weeks long. The clinical schedule in the spring semester may vary, but generally it is Tuesday through Friday from 6:45 a.m. until 3:15 p.m. with the possibility of weekends. Students should expect to have classes on Mondays from 8 o'clock till noon. As previously mentioned, clinical rotations are not scheduled around a student's personal or work schedule. The last 3 weeks of the program are reserved for capstone review in preparation for the CST exam. Classes during this time are held Monday through Thursday from 8 until noon. AIMS has enjoyed pass rates for the CST exam among the top 10% of all programs in the country. AIMS has been recognized nationally over the last several years for their high pass rates on the CST exam. As part of the surgical technology program, you will be required to successfully complete clinical rotations. Current clinical sites range from South Denver to Casper, Wyoming, and from Fort Morgan to Estes Park, so having reliable transportation is important. Additionally, it is important to budget for changes in gas prices, as well as wear and tear on your vehicle. These are considered additional costs that are not included in your tuition and fees. Clinical sites and schedules are determined according to the clinical site availability. Please note that if you fail or withdraw from a surgical technology course, readmission to the program is not guaranteed. It requires prior approval from the surgical technology department and may require a new background check and drug screen. If you withdraw or fail from the program a second time, you will not be allowed re-entry into another program cohort. Mark Urso, the program director, will be your faculty advisor once you are admitted to the program. If you have specific content questions, please email Mark directly. Erin Miyoshi is the program coordinator and should be utilized for questions regarding entrance into the program and clinical site requirements. To find out more about tuition and fees, financial aid, or disability access, we have provided the following links. Please find the orientation form on the Surgical Technology webpage. On this form, you will be asked to enter your name, your AIMS student number, and the authorization code above, as well as the date. Please print the certificate as part of your required paperwork for getting placed on the wait list. Having the certificate with the correct authorization code is mandatory and is the only way to confirm that you completed this entire online orientation. This now concludes the required orientation for the Surgical Technology program. We'd like to thank you for your time and attention.